Watch this, and you will become dangerously intelligent. Not book smart. I mean the kind of intelligence that makes people afraid of you. I must warn you, this truth is brutal. If you want to keep your innocence, turn this off right now. Still here? Good. How many times have you been manipulated, used, or lied to by someone you trusted? You play by the rules, and you lose. Today, that ends. I will show you the mental shifts to separate you from the prey. You will finally see the board. Let's begin. Society feeds you a comforting lie. They tell you people are inherently good. They tell you hard work speaks for itself. They tell you that if you are a team player, you will be rewarded. It is a beautiful bedtime story, and it is keeping you at the bottom of the food chain. Wake up. Look around you. Look at the corporate world. Look at your inner circle. How many times have you been stabbed in the back by your best friend for a promotion? How many times did you do all the heavy lifting only for someone with a slick tongue to steal the credit? Did it shock you? Did you feel betrayed? You sat there, confused, wondering why the world is so unfair. You were playing by the rules of morality in a game of survival. This is not a perfect world. This is an ecosystem of predators. When you assume everyone has good intentions, you paint a giant bullseye on your own back. You become a target. You become completely predictable. And in this world, being predictable means being powerless. Every smile, every favor, every supportive word in the office is a transaction. They are not acting out of kindness. They are acting out of self-interest. Everyone is. The sooner you accept this cold reality, the sooner you stop bleeding. Machiavelli wrote that a man who wishes to make a profession of goodness in everything must necessarily come to ruin among so many who are not good. Your desperate need to see the good in people is your exact ruin. If you want to survive, you must look at every single interaction through the lens of self-interest. Stop asking if they are a good person. Ask yourself what they gain from this. Why are they choosing you? What is the hidden cost of their sudden loyalty? Once you put on this lens, the world changes permanently. The confusion disappears. The betrayal stops hurting because you saw it coming from a mile away. You stop being a piece on the board, and you become a player. But understanding that human beings act purely out of self-interest is still not enough to protect you, because even if you know they are selfish, you will still fall victim to them if you remain blinded by their absolute cheapest weapon. And that is exactly where we go in the second shift. Words are cheap. Words cost nothing. Words are the lowest form of currency in human interaction, yet you treat them like gold. Think about your closely. How many times did your boss, you sacrificed your weekends? And what happened? The promotion went to the guy who knows how to play the game, the guy who knows how to talk. Or what about that business partner? The one who swore you were in this together. The one who promised equal equity, until the ink dried on the contract and you were left with crumbs. You are angry at them, but you should be angry at yourself. You listen to the audio. You need to mute the world, turn off the sound, stop listening to what people say, and start watching what they do. Human beings are exceptional liars. We lie to get what we want. We lie to avoid conflict. We lie to look good. But actions cannot lie. Actions require effort. Actions require sacrifice. Actions are the only truth in a world full of predators. Machiavelli understood this perfectly. He knew that men are so simple and so subject to present necessities that he who deceives will always find someone who will let himself be deceived. You are that someone. You are letting yourself be deceived because you want to believe the beautiful lie. It is much easier to believe the empty promise of a raise than to face the cold reality that you are being used. From this moment on, treat everyone around you like they are completely mute. If their lips are moving, it means absolutely nothing. Look at their hands. Look at their feet. What are they actually doing? Are they giving you power, or are they taking it? The manipulator relies entirely on your addiction to their words. They spin a web of promises, fake apologies, and future faking. The exact second you stop listening, their weapon becomes utterly useless. You strip them of their power. You become completely immune to their game. But knowing how to see through the lies of others is still not enough. You know how to read them now, but you are still failing. You are still handing yourself over to them on a silver platter because you are trapped in a deadly habit. A habit you practice every single day without even realizing it. And that is exactly why we must move to the third shift. The world tells you vulnerability is brave. They tell you to speak your truth. They tell you to share your trauma. They want you to bleed out in the open. But this isn't a perfect world. This is a world full of predators, and vulnerability makes you prey. Look at your own behavior. You broadcast your next move before you even take a step. You tell your co-workers about your struggles. You vent about your weaknesses to anyone who will listen. You think you are building deep connections. You are not. You are simply handing them the exact blueprint of how to destroy you. You are giving them the bullets for the gun they will eventually point at your head. The person who talks too much is a leaking pipe. They constantly lose power. They show the world exactly where they are fragile. They become an open book. And open books are incredibly easy to tear apart. Now look at the silent person. The person who listens. The person who never reveals their full hand. They hold all the power. When you are quiet, people project their own fears onto you. They do not know what you are thinking. They do not know what you are planning. You become a black hole, unreadable, untouchable, unpredictable. And human beings are absolutely terrified of what they cannot predict. Stop oversharing. Kill the victim mentality. Kill the desperate need to be validated by people who do not actually care about you. Shut your mouth. Conceal your intentions. Never show your true emotions in an environment designed to exploit them. Your silence is not a sign of weakness. Your silence is an impenetrable shield. It forces the attacker to doubt their own sanity. But here is the brutal truth. Silence keeps you safe. It builds your armor. But safety alone does not put you at the top. In this world, you have to choose one or the other. You cannot stay hidden forever if you want to rule. And that is exactly why we must move to the fourth shift. Look back at your life. You work yourself to the bone trying to be a good person. You compromise. You apologize when it is not your fault. You swallow your pride to keep the peace. And what exactly do you get in return? What is your reward? You become a doormat for other people to wipe their feet on. You become the reliable victim. Machiavelli laid out the ultimate rule of human dynamics centuries ago. He stated that it is much safer to be feared than loved. Society hates this truth. They tell you to lead with your heart. They tell you love is the ultimate power, but they are lying to you. Here is the dark reality about love. Love depends entirely on the other person. When you try to make people love you, you hand them the keys to your life. You give them total control. You are at their mercy. They can wake up tomorrow, decide they no longer like you, withdraw their affection, and leave you completely shattered. You cannot control their feelings. Fear is different. Respect is different. Fear depends entirely on you. It depends on your boundaries. It depends on your consequences. When you establish that you are capable of walking away, capable of destroying a relationship without hesitation, you shift the power dynamic. People stop calculating what they can extract from you. They start calculating what they have to lose if they cross you. Kill the people-pleaser inside your head today. Let them be disappointed. Let them call you cold. Let them say you have changed. Your purpose on this earth is not to manage the emotional comfort of predators. Your purpose is to protect your empire. You do not need them to like you. You only need them to hesitate before they try to use you. But there is a dangerous consequence to this awakening. When you stop being a doormat, when you start commanding respect and projecting this cold authority, the world will react. You will disrupt the order. You will inevitably create enemies. And if you do not know exactly how to handle the enemies you create, they will band together and destroy you. And that is exactly why we must move to the fifth shift. You despise your enemies. You waste hours obsessing over them. You complain about them to anyone who will listen. You let anger completely cloud your judgment. You think the ultimate goal is to destroy them as quickly as possible. This is how a pawn thinks. This is the mindset of a disposable piece on the board. Emotions are a luxury you cannot afford. Hatred is a poison. It makes you reckless. It makes you stupid. Players do not hate. Players calculate. Look at the chessboard. The master does not sweep the opponent's pieces off the table in a fit of rage. The master uses the opponent's pieces against them. Your enemies are not obstacles. Your enemies are free tools. They are the ultimate measuring stick. A friend will flatter you. A friend will make you lazy. A friend will tell you that your mediocre effort is enough. An enemy will never let you rest. An enemy is watching your every single move, waiting for you to slip. They force you to be flawless. They force you to be sharp. Without them, you become soft. You actually need them. But it goes much deeper than just motivation. You must weaponize them. When you are a player, you do not fight your own battles. You orchestrate them. Do you have a rival in the office who is constantly trying to undercut you? Good. Direct their toxic energy toward another rival. Let your enemies exhaust each other. Let them fight in the mud while you watch from above. You pull the strings. You let them do your dirty work. You control the narrative. You use their aggression to justify your own calculated moves. They think they are attacking you. In reality, they are playing the exact role you assigned them. You graduate from the victim. You graduate from the target. You become the architect of the game. But here is the fatal trap. When you realize this power, when you start manipulating the board, your ego will inflate. You will want to show off. You will want people to know how dangerous you are. Do not appear too dangerous. The wolf that bares its fangs first is always the first one the hunter shoots down. You must hide your claws. That is exactly when you need the most perfect camouflage. And that leads us to the sixth shift. You are addicted to your own ego. You want to be the smartest person in the room. You correct people in meetings. You want the boss to recognize your brilliance. You crave the applause. You think showing off your intelligence makes you powerful. It does not. It makes you a massive, glowing target. When you constantly display your sharpness, you trigger the insecurities of everyone around you. The mediocre manager feels threatened. The jealous coworker starts plotting your downfall. By trying to look brilliant, you are voluntarily waking up the predators. The ultimate weapon of the master is perceived weakness. You must learn the art of playing the fool. Let them think they are smarter than you. Let them explain concepts you already mastered years ago. Swallow your pride and let them win the meaningless, trivial arguments. When people think you are harmless, they completely drop their guard. They stop analyzing your moves. They stop filtering their words around you. They show you their true colors and their hidden agendas because they do not even register you as a threat. Fake naivety is the strongest armor you can ever wear. Stupidity is your ultimate stealth mode. While they are busy stroking their own egos, you are quietly mapping the entire battlefield. You are gathering data. When the time finally comes to strike, they will be utterly destroyed because they never respected you enough to prepare for the hit. You must assassinate your ego to secure your power. These 6 shifts are just isolated pieces on the board. You can hide your intelligence. You can weaponize your enemies. You can embrace the silence. But it will all be completely useless if you do not conquer the final barrier. The biggest one, the most brutal truth that ties everything together. And that is exactly where we go in the final shift. You have spent your entire life waiting for justice. You wait for the universe to reward your quiet suffering. You watch the ruthless climb to the top while you stay at the bottom, and you comfort yourself with a pathetic lie. You tell yourself that at least school, good person. You tell yourself that the system is broken. You complain that life is unfair. Stop. Erase that word from your vocabulary. Fairness is a fairy tale. It is an illusion constructed by the powerful to keep the weak exactly where they belong. The world is not broken. It is functioning perfectly. It has functioned this way since the dawn of human history. Society does not care about your moral high ground. Society does not hand out trophies for purity. Society rewards leverage. Society rewards power. Society rewards the person who deeply understands the brutal mechanics of human nature. This is the final barrier. This is the biggest one. Radical acceptance of a ruthless reality. You must stop demanding that the world changes to fit your fragile morals. When you cry about unfairness, you are acting like a helpless child begging a predator for mercy. You are refusing to accept the rules of the game. And if you do not accept the rules, you cannot win. You will simply be another casualty. The true essence of ancient wisdom has never been about passive morality. The masters of the past understood that humans are inherently savage. They understood that morality is constantly weaponized by the corrupt to control the naive. If you cling to your manufactured innocence, you are willingly walking into a slaughterhouse. Kill the victim mentality. Bury it today. The victim cries when they are betrayed. The player analyzes the betrayal to ensure it never happens again. When someone steps on you, it is not a cosmic tragedy. It is your fault for laying on the ground. When someone steals your opportunity, it is your fault for leaving it unguarded. Take absolute ownership of your vulnerabilities. The moment you stop expecting the lions to act like sheep, the pain completely stops. The frustration vanishes. You strip away the emotional fat. You become lean. You become calculating. You become dangerous. You finally see the matrix for what it actually is. It is not a test of goodness. It is a game of survival. You stop being a spectator in your own life. You step onto the board. You see the pieces. And for the very first time, you are the one moving them. You now have the blueprint. 7 shifts to permanently alter how you walk through this world. Let us lock them into your mind one last time. Everyone operates out of self-interest. Words are completely worthless. Silence is your ultimate shield. It is always safer to be feared than loved. Your enemies are just tools to be used. Fake stupidity is your strongest armor. The world is ruthless, and you must adapt to survive. If you have finally opened your eyes to reality, do not just scroll away. Claim your new position. Type "I see it now" in the comments below. Make the declaration. Let the rest of society stay comfortable in their sleep. We are the ones who finally see the board. Do not forget to watch the next video on the screen. It is more important than you can possibly imagine. I will see you there.